looks good though.
Call to order the city council meeting of September 29th, 2020. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Give them a notice of how to call in. Okay.
Okay, so I'll make the announcement. For those of you that are reaching us by telephone listening to the meeting and making oral public comments. Members of the public can participate in the meeting by telephone to listen and make comments by using the following. Dial in 1-669-900-6833. The meeting ID number is 996-1738-7790. And the passcode is 5111. All interested parties who wish to provide public comments telephonically may join the conference at 12:50. If you are dialing in from a cell phone, please call from an area with good reception. Calls from landline phones are highly recommended. The above access options provide the public with the opportunity to address the legislative body on closed session items. Please note that the members of the public will be allowed to observe and/or address the city council meetings of September 29, 2020 for open session as follows. You can take it from there, Joe. So number 2.
The conference begins at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And all interested parties may join the conference 5 minutes prior. If you're dialing in from a cell phone, please call from an area with good reception. Calls from landline phones are highly recommended. If you're watching the meeting via Facebook Live or Channel 35, while accessing the phone line, it's requested that you mute the sound of your video feed as it is delayed from the phone transmission. Dial in 1-888-251-2949 or 1215-861-0694 using the access code for today, which is 242-4497 pound, and then wait 5 seconds and press pound again. You can view and listen to the meeting on Spectrum Cable Channel 35 with audio and limited video. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Sure. A quorum is present for City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, Parking Authority, and Joint Powers Authority.
Persons wishing to address City Council, Successor Agency, or Housing Authority, Finance Authority, or Parking Authority, or the Joint Powers Authority on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time. Operator, are there any callers?
Once again, to make a public comment, please dial pound
2 on your telephone keypad. Caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead and state your name and comment.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. On the Warren Register, you still have checks being issued with no organization, and then you have some with no, where you're not mentioning what funds. It's very confusing. Also on the agenda, you have item number 3. That's the one with the Danville down western. That's very important thing. In fact, it's so important. It's part of the location for the department, and we have not taken as much as we could to some of the advancement of it, and that is in to stabilize the whole South. Hey, so that is much needed, and I would recommend to try to find a location for the board in Inglewood. Once it was located in Inglewood, I don't know what happened. But anyway, it's very important. Now, I notice we have a lot of departmental reports. And I would suggest with each departmental report, they're very involved. If they give a brief whole report from each one. And particularly on item number 4, you want to extend security guard service. That was a no-bid contract. There are various security guards here services that could be provided locally. So you might consider that. Also, this agenda is really full. And on number 6, we've had problems with monies being spent for restrooms at parks for years and years. And here again, I will tell you to do some oversight with that and find out what the intention is as far as being completed with restrooms at parks. Also, on the Joint Powers Authority members, who is the Joint Powers Authority members? And we have a city investment policy. We need some information and some clarity, because all of these things are coming on now, and a lot of it's on this agenda. And we have a report from the city treasurer. And what you might notice, and give some kudos, we have over 54%.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Operator, next caller.
Next caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead and state your name and comment.
Yeah, this is Billion Gosson with the Africa Town Coalition. As far as the police dogs, that most definitely is money that can be defunded to help the homeless situation in the city. And as far as the debit cards and rental assistance program, there are a number of people who are saying they did not get the information. People, whether they didn't see it on the social media pages, or I don't know if mailers or flyers went out, but there are people who need it, who are saying, they would benefit by having the program extended. So, yeah.
Who are these people?
Residents in the city.
No, what are their names? We'll contact them. What are their names?
Well, people don't trust you having their names or calling them out, but they can most definitely show up if you make it available for them to come sign up.
Thank you. I thought so. Go ahead. Speaker, you can go ahead. Okay, operator. Next caller.
There are no other callers in the queue.
Thank you so much. Close public comment. Item 1, CSA 2 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment of the bill.
Second. Madam Clerk.
City Council, successor agencies, and Housing Authority members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 8.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR1.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution approving and adopting the fiscal year 2020-2021 annual budget.
So
Move
moved.
approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR2.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution establishing the city tax support appropriation limitation for the fiscal year 2020-2021.
So moved.
Second. Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR3.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution removing Matrix Trust as a trustee of the City of Inglewood Retirement Health Savings Plan and appointing the city as a successor trustee and ICMA RC as a new record keeper.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR4.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution amending the annual budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020 for the budget adjustment needs due to scheduling changes and/or change orders for various ongoing capital improvement projects under current contracts.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR5.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution to amend the policies and procedure manual for the Inglewood COVID-19 debit card program to increase the benefit amount from $500 to $1,000.
Move items 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR6.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution to amend the policies and procedure manual for the Inglewood Rent Relief Program to increase the number of months for rent relief from 2 to 3.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1 and CSA 3.
Thank you, sir. We had two closed session items. The first one was CSA 1 and CS1. As to that matter, it was a joint meeting between the city council and successor agency board members regarding City of Inglewood versus Cent Inglewood LLC, APN number 4024-038-042, which is LA Superior Court case number BC 711437. As to that matter, there's a request to approve settlement in that matter. And secondly, to request from the successor agency to approve the use of the tax exempt bonds in the amount of $50,000 to fund the goodwill payment associated with the purchase of the right-of-way.
I so move.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
City council and successor agency members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
I'll abstain. I wasn't present for that vote. Second item.
Second item was CS2, Mayor, and that was Alan Smith for the City of Inglewood. That was LA Superior Court case number 19-STCV 15811. As to that, a discussion was held and no action taken. And that concludes the report from the city attorney's office.
CM1,
Thank you, Mayor. No oral reports from the city manager's office.
CC1,
Thank you, Mayor, but no reports, thank you.
CT1,
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending May 31st, 2020.
receive and file. CSA 4,
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending May 31st, 2020.
receive and file. Adjourn to successor agency H2,
Monthly treasurer's report for the month ending May 31st, 2020.
Receive and file, adjourn the Inglewood Housing Authority, F1.
Approval of the minutes of the Finance Authority meeting held on March 17th, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Finance Authority members, Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the Finance Authority, P1.
Approval of the minutes of the Parking Authority meeting held on March 17th, 2020 and March 24th, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Aye.
Parking Authority members, Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the Parking Authority, JPA 1.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending May 31st, 2020.
Receive and file, JPA 2.
Approval of the minutes of the Joint Powers Authority meeting held on March 17th, 2020, March 24th, 2020, and May 5th, 2020.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Joint Powers Authority members, Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. No appointments to boards and commissions. Public comment for 1 minute. Persons wishing to address City Council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. Operator, are there any callers on the line?
As a reminder, to make a public comment, please dial #2 on your telephone keypad. First caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead and state your name and comment.
Yes, how's it going, City Council and Mayor Butt? This is all y'all best friends, you passed Curtis Days. So I'm putting a notice that I'm be suing the City of Inglewood for $3 million for getting harassed by Senator Ellis, your community outreach liaison. And also I want to bring up regarding Padilla and Mayor Butt coming by the youth center that we had on Centinela, and I pointed out some illegal activities from acting Christians that we had all senders taking pride from the lady at the stage, and I had called but that same day when I got harassed by an officer named Sergeant, said that I snitched on when I called him at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the cop told me that he put hands on the chief. So I directly called my attorney, and I directly called Mayor Buss, and Mayor Buss told the chief of police to call me first thing in the morning, and I still make it pass from that. Mayor Buss, you should be ashamed of yourself. You and the
Thank
chief
you,
should be
Mr. Day.
recalled.
Operator, are there any callers on the line? Operator, or any other callers?
We do have several other callers here on the line.
Go right ahead.
Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Yo, Matthew. Am I ready to talk? Are my hands up? Recognized?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. Senator Bradford has a bill not to defund the police, but to reform the police, and they need council support. And I would like to see this council pass a resolution supporting Senator Bradford's bill. It did not pass the Assembly nor the House or the Senate because the time expired to present the bill, even though they had support. But what it is sometimes this council is going to have to step up and take position. And positions that will help Inglewood to be the leader of the South Bay. But in order to lead,
Thank you,
you
Mr.
have
Matthew.
to.
You're at time. Operator, next caller.
Caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead and state your name and comment.
Hi, I'm Amir. I live in District 4. I just wanted to say good job to the City Council and good job to the Mayor for bringing economic recovery back to the city, getting the Clippers back, getting the Rams and Chargers back. And I just want everybody to know that we need to support our police, not defund them. That's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. I wish he took his minute, but operator. That was so unexpected. Operator, next caller.
Caller, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead and state your name and comment.
Yeah, this is Billion with Africa Town Coalition, and your comment right there, Mayor Butts, basically shows you're pro-police, even though
Operator, stop.
they're
Stop.
killing.
Operator, mute that. Sir, you only get one time to speak. So, operator, go to the next caller.
Mayor, this is for the public comment for everything. He spoke on the, at the very beginning.
Right. Really?
Yeah, this is a different.
Okay, wait a minute. Didn't I just hear him talk about
Yeah.
the riddle program?
He spoke on item number 5, DR5, and DR6.
Operator, give him another minute. I look forward to it. Operator, you can unmute
Or
him.
it looks like he's hung up the line.
I feel so bad about that. Operator, next caller.
There are no other callers in the queue.
Okay, so let's wait and see if he calls back while we're doing council comments. If you're out there listening, billionaire, billion, whatever, call back. I owe you 30 seconds. Let's see. Council comments, Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This past Thursday, LA Councilman Herb Wesson and I sponsored a food giveaway, COVID testing, and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was there also for the census. There were given away 150 boxes of bags of food given out to families. 81 people were tested for COVID, and they should receive their test results in 48 hours. The Southern Christian Leadership Council spoke to 158 people for the census. That was all done in 3 hours. I want to thank Pastor Jeremy Dixon of Center of Hope and his staff for letting us use their church parking lot. I also want to thank Ms. Mackey and her staff of SCLC for coming out to do the census. I especially want to thank Councilman Wesson for letting me partner with him on this successful event, and Dr. Ordua of the Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Excuse me if I mispronounce your name, because that's a hard one. I also want to thank Councilman Ralph Franklin for coming out and helping out. The Central Neighborhood of Hope, the Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is located at 2707 South Central Avenue. It's open Monday through Thursday, from 10 to 2. And no appointment is necessary for COVID testing. And you get your results within 48 hours. So if you can, please take advantage of that, because the test is free. So with that, I hope everybody stays safe and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you. Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of comments. Number one is I want to thank code enforcement, in particular Jerry Tucker. Him and his staff did a great job working with the owners of the property in the 100 block of West Plymouth. It's a huge complex. The property was neglected because we're looking to build 20 condos out there, the developer is. And folks had taken over, squatters, trespassers, all that. It became a bit of a nuisance. But working together with our police department and our fire department, I want to give them as well a shout out. We were able to take care of that situation. The builder has since worked with the demolition crews, and they've gone on the site and they've demolished those buildings that were there. And now it's a vacant, just a bunch of dirt. And so very soon, we hope to start building
these additional 20 units there. So again, I just want to thank code enforcement. I want to thank our police and our firefighters that were out there to help us as we work through that process. I also remind folks that our 2020 census, the last day, I believe, is tomorrow. So I was out there driving around the district today. I saw several of their folks wearing their yellow vests with their IDs, like I mentioned last week, knocking on doors, making sure folks are completing the census. Please, if you haven't done so, it just takes 10 minutes. It's important for every community, not just Inglewood, every community, to get that census completed and get it turned in. It comes back for funding for each individual city. So they use the census to help us with that. So get that done. Folks, there's a big push to register to vote, which is great. We got to register to vote if you haven't already done so. But the bigger push is to actually exercise that privilege and to vote. So not only register to vote, but make your vote count. Get it turned in. So complete it, do it by mail, do it however you're gonna do it, but vote. You know, as you saw in today's agenda, several great things. Again, this COVID-19 debit credit program, credit card program was increased from 500 to 1,000. That's a great move for folks that are gonna be able to utilize this. You know, so please take advantage of this opportunity if you can still do so. And then also, if you look at the rent relief, went from 2 to 3 months. You know, again, these are things that we're doing up here on the dais as your leaders, as your elected officials to help our community, our residents, make it through these tough times. With that, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you, Councilman Franklin?
I want my minute back, too.
I was hoping you were gonna stay out there longer.
Yeah, I clearly,
He would've.
thank you, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. I just simply want to echo the same sentiments of Councilman George Dotson and LA City Councilman Herb Wesson on the invite to work for people of Community of Unity that was in need, not only for the food giveaway, but as he's echoed the concerns of U.S. Census, people was filling them out, and people waiting in line to get the COVID-19 testing. It was a great day, a lot of work, a lot of good food that was given away for needy families and for needy causes. I want to reach out to the Highway Patrol, the Inglewood Police Department, Public Works, and Caltrans for your due diligent efforts for months of preparation on removing the homeless encampment, and it was very large, that was on Prairie and Imperial Highway, just off the 105 freeway off-ramp. It took a lot of due diligence and following the guidelines and making sure those that were homeless was given the ample notification to remove from the location with their personal properties within a time restraints that was allotted, and that it was a cohesive team effort. But also what we found out, as soon as they cleaned it out, they were coming back again. And so now we're going on a regular basis to monitor that area to make sure they stay in compliance. And council members, I may not be with you next year. In fact, I won't be. But please make sure that our development that we got in and planned for the ENA at that location gets approved so we can get that development on that construction on that site. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Councilman Morales, District 3.
Just briefly, colleagues did a good job covering everything. I want to mention something that Alex touched on. Here, quietly, what we did was we improved what the action we took with the CARES Act funding. The reason we were able to do that, which is bring up the amount that folks are eligible to receive based on need, is because of the response, the number of responses we got. And then we heard a speaker say, hey, we should open up the actual deadline up so that we can wait for more. You know, I think that shows kind of where we are as a city, that we understand that the folks that did apply are the folks that need it, and to expand the timeline would be a poor decision just based on the fact that someone chooses to say that more people would come. I believe that the right decision is what we did to expand the amount that people are eligible for. And as the process moves forward, we're gonna move with it. And I just wanted to point that out as an example of how decisions are gonna be made moving forward, not, abruptly. So with that, Mayor, that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Okay, but I'm gonna piggyback on that, go a little bit further. The reason that I asked, when someone just gets up and says, well, more people would, and then I ask for the names of the
Yeah.
people so that we can reach them directly, and then it's something about they wouldn't want me to know their name. We're gonna know their name when they apply.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you, we have people engaged in such foolishness now.
We know who we're dealing with.
We're asking to give away money. We let the public know. Was it 1,000 people, Robert? 1,200 people applied, and we got another allotment, and we're going to extend it from 1 to 2 months. Is that right, Robert?
2 to 3.
2 to 3 months. So we're gonna give those that applied even more. So I just wanna tell you that, this is just foolishness when people call and they say things like that. That's where we've come to. That's where we come to. People that look to criticize, they wanna criticize the city giving money to the residents. That's ridiculous to me. Now, with that, I also wanna talk about one of my favorite things is the status of the city. We right now have first projected about a $9.3 million deficit for this year, but we're doing closeout, so it may be less, it may be more. But the reality is that with what we have in reserves, we can handle that. And to make it clear, we can handle next year as well. Being prudent come March, we're going to look at where we are, but we have enough as it looks right now, unless something changes drastically, to make it through the next fiscal year. That's something every city cannot say. That's something that every city cannot do. And I wanted to play a brief clip from one of the once wealthiest cities in this region, and that's Anaheim. So you could play the clip.
6 months since Disneyland closed because of the coronavirus. Now, both Park and Anaheim city officials are asking the state to come up with a reopening plan. As NBC4's Vicky Vargas reports, the area around the resort is being described as an economic ghost town.
City officials say the economic impact here in Anaheim alone is beyond anything they could have predicted, that their budget will now have a $100 million hole. That's because more than half of the city of Anaheim's revenue comes from hotel bed taxes. Today, we found many of the hotels on Harbor Boulevard, right across from Disneyland, closed, even this McDonald's restaurant.
So far, I don't see anybody.
According to a Cal State Fullerton study, last year, tourists at the happiest place on earth spent more than $2 billion at local businesses outside the park. Today, 6 months after Disneyland shut down, surrounding businesses are boarded up. Others are simply trying to stay afloat.
I've had to reorganize and dust and all that other good stuff. Oh, yes. Yes, it's, hopefully they'll start coming back.
Craig Dolan says the Spirits of St. Germain Market has been in his family for 30 years. But when Disney closed in March, he did too. He says sales dropped from $3,000 to less than $200 a day. Now he's back, fingers crossed.
Word is they were trying to get Disneyland open up the 15th of next month. But you know how that's been going. A hit and miss.
Park officials say what they want is a plan, a blueprint to prepare to reopen. So far, the state has not included theme parks in any of the benchmarks connected to reopening. In a statement, park officials say theirs is an industry that values safety above all else. This is video showing the new procedures in place at Walt Disney World in Florida. Bombi Sison says he would be a Disney regular if the park was open. Instead, he made a trip to shop at downtown Disney.
I'm not surprised that it's still closed. I mean, given what's been going on with everything and with the virus and everything like that, but it's kind of sad that it's still closed.
City officials say what they're asking for is the ability to reopen places like theme parks, knowing it is a balancing act since Anaheim still has some of the highest positivity rates in this county. In Anaheim, Vicky Vargas, NBC4 News.
I want to personally invite Governor Newsom to come to Anaheim, see the economic impact himself. It's a disaster right here. All the businesses are closed here. How long are you going to keep us closed? Give us the guidelines.
It makes me sad.
So that was the mayor of Anaheim. So what I'm getting at is that we could, based upon our deficit, we could do a number of things. We could put employees on furloughs. We could do layoffs. We could declare an emergency and suspend the memorandums of understanding, but we're not doing that here. We're providing full services for the residents of the city of Inglewood. Our employees will receive their pay. And so I just want to make it clear that's for a reason. It's because the city council over the years has made the decisions to put this city in a solid financial position where we could take care of and make it through a rainy day, and in this case, a pandemic. And so that's why it really bothers me when I hear people try to panic the employees and the residents and try and snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. I want to commend staff for executing the plan of the council. I want to compliment the council for working as a cohesive team to take care of our residents. And I'm so happy that we're able to extend the rent relief program for an additional month. I'm very proud of that. Now, in closing, I received a letter from an 83-year-old Inglewood resident, and I received it on the 20th. It was sent September 17th. It said, Mayor James T. Butts, I've been wanting to write you for a long time to tell you that you and the city council are doing a good job for the city of Inglewood. Also, congratulations for the Rams returning and for the beautiful SoFi Stadium. I came to Inglewood with my family from Indiana after World War II in 1946. I was 9 years old, and we moved into a brand new home in the Morningside Park area on 101st Street. Long story short, I was in the first freshman class at Morningside High School. After I finished college, I became a teacher at Daniel Freeman for 3 years. I was fortunate to have in my class James Hahn and Robert Unruh. I have wonderful memories of my time there, and it was fun seeing my fellow teachers who were my teachers at Morningside High School. Small world. I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit from an 83-year-old. Sincerely, Dana Simmersheen Smith. That's an awesome letter, and we'll keep it. And with that, we're adjourned.